What's going on, everyone? This is David Mitchell here,
And Valley Blue.
and welcome back to Fans of Train, episode 56. Oof, and oh dear. I'm not gonna lie, the BS of PSR won again. Because the railroad strike that was supposed to happen is not gonna happen. So, yeah. But also, I hope y'all enjoyed the two rail fan videos I just posted. They were supposed to go up yesterday, but we had a little difficulty. So, yeah. That was a little rough. But both videos are finally up. Took a bit, but they're up now. But yeah, let's get our first guest. So I need a friend of mine on if he online right now. Ironically, I'm surprised that Dimitri have not been live streaming this week, if y'all know what I mean. Because he is really missing out on stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, $14 million lawsuit. Sweet. Sorry, David. I was reacting to the video.
I'm sorry. Looking at something before I. Let's see if we're
Oh, you talked to Brightline?
trying to call him right now because it's that we do see what we need to talk about. Alright, we'll go for it on scene. I tried to see if Brightline is already asleep, so that's fine. Hey man, you doing good?
Yeah, I'm just doing some homework.
Hi.
Dude, the railroad track is not going to happen.
No, I know. They don't have balls.
I know. They're a bunch of idiots.
Well, listen. I don't want it to happen because then everything's going to be very expensive and our economy's going to go to shit. But I feel as though that if they don't get what they were protesting for out of this, that it's stupid on their part. They should have did it.
Mm-hmm. And they're saying, oh, the protest was over money. No, it wasn't. It was over sick leave.
It was literally just over paid off days.
Yeah, and sick leave, because let's be honest, the railroads are trying to crap worker out of their workday and trying to run them like machines into the ground.
Yeah.
And that PSR for you, am I right?
Yeah.
And the thing is that the thing that I'll be on about. The president should have told the railroad, treat your worker better, freaking give them their sick leave, and stop trying to work them like animals. And threaten them with nationalization, threaten them if they don't treat the worker properly and start straightening up, they will be nationalized. Am I right?
Yes.
Because I don't agree with what is happening, because even though we dodged a bullet with a railroad strike, it's still going to get bad because, the classrooms are going to get more bold and try to fuck around with their workers even more. Am I right?
Yeah.
Because just think about it. This shit right here is not good. Nothing can come good from this. now that they stopped the, railroad strike from happening. Nothing good can happen now, And heck, let not forget, if you remember back in 1930 when GM, when their workers went on strike, a lot changed because of that,
Yeah.
The thing is that we got to start cracking down on the class ones. We cannot just keep defending them, Am I right?
Yeah.
Because look what they're doing to their own freaking workers. It's not right. And then them trying to do that all unit train BS. Like, good God, stop with the fucking unit trains,
Yeah.
Like, Jesus. We need trains that are not unit format, Like, and then they didn't want to, do like all that shit, And I don't agree with it,
Yeah.
Heck, I even brought it up with what CXX is trying to do. I don't agree with that. You remember the article I posted in the American Rail Club?
No, I did not.
One that CXX is talking about autonomous. It's a type of autonomous thing that they're talking about, what I don't agree with because it screw workers.
The non-engineered trains or whatever the hell.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, man. I don't.
Can I go off topic for a quick second?
Yeah.
So, remember last stream we talked about TSW3 and that electric loco?
Yes.
This guy went to the game files. It says TSW3 North American Electric AC-Loco 2011 Plus. So, which means it's probably 2011 or newer, so it'd either be either a Acela, Revelia, HHP, or AM7.
Meaning it could probably be a DLC board, a Boston route,
Yeah, no, I'm assuming it is, unless they throw some shit out of left field and give us the Stadler kiss for Caltrain or something. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the Acela.
Probably it, and they're probably going to be upgrading and up in the ante for bringing the Boston route into Train Sim World 3 with the graphic and stuff. Because let's be honest.
I drove it this morning. Yeah, I mean it looked the same from TSW2. They could change some things, but it's not bad.
The only thing that is that the snow don't pile up like in the newer routes.
Yeah, I was playing the new German high-speed route, and I was driving a freight train late at night. That was actually the hardest train symbol thing I've ever driven.
Have you ever?
It was struggling to get up some hills, and then I was having wheel slips. Every time I got into a tunnel, I could put the throttle up a little bit and get it up to speed.
Have you played Cajon Pass yet?
Yeah, I did. I played the northern section a bit, but I didn't play this. I only played the southern section once.
Dude, it's actually a cool route because I heard some guys that are friends of mine, and they're saying it's a good route.
It is pretty route.
Try doing it in the winter. Oh my God, my friend told me how.
I was going up and it was summer, and then all of a sudden it started snowing. And I was like, what?
Well, technically that is accurate because if you did think about it, Cajon Pass is right up in the mountain, so.
Well, yeah, you're climbing up the whole first half of the route.
And there have been cases in Cajon Pass that they have gotten snow in the summertime. That have happened. Yeah. So that's not any inaccurate, but it is a rare phenomenon, but it does happen more frequently than people think,
Yeah.
But just think about it, when you look at the snow in Train Sim World 3 on the newer route, you get to sit there and watch
it. Looks a lot better.
Yeah, and if you just sit there and watch it, you will notice that the snow actually piles up. Dude, I'll be on. I cannot wait until if we get Train Sim World we have freaking snow covered right over track because the snow do cover. Come up, but it don't cover the tracks.
Yeah.
It sucks. I hope. And I hope when Train Sim World 3, not Train Sim World 3, but whenever Train Sim World 4 come out in the next 2 years, maybe 3 years from now, that they improved the snow piling up, where snow actually keep on piling up and go over tracks, and you have to plow it. You know?
Yeah, but that's gonna require like a really like advanced computer or newer console to run that. Like any middle of the line computer, like 4th gen console, probably cannot run that.
Well, what about the 5th gen consoles that are now coming out?
That's what I'm thinking. Probably where you're gonna need a really good computer.
And I give it about 3 to 4 years, and we'll probably have that. You know? Hey.
Yeah.
And imagine it. Think about it. Like Farming Simulator 22, they now got snow, and snow actually builds up. And that's something.
I only ever played Farming Simulator 14.
Play,
15 or something.
dude, you need to look at Farming Simulator 22. The snow in that game actually builds up. Like literally, you can sit there for an hour and look at when the snows are coming down in the game, like during the wintertime mode, like you can watch the snow start piling up over the green grass, and it all start turning light, and it actually keep on piling up.
It's cool.
That pretty bonkers. Just imagine that with Train Sim World, and you know them having freaking plows and stuff, just plowing the snow, and it just coming right out like you see in Real World. Just imagine that. That would be freaking awesome, you know?
Yeah.
Heck, that would be good for like a snowplow DLC. Am I right?
Hmm?
Like a snowplow DLC, am I right?
Yeah, no, they'll do anything for money. I swear to God.
Did think about it. If they can, you know.
I'm getting that new German route on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Dude, what? All right. When we were talking last week, what other routes do you think they're going to do that are American?
Well, they said they have an American route on the way, which was not true. The update, the 2 roadmaps ago, but this roadmap has said it, and they added another German route, which I think is that one that got leaked a while ago. It's the diesel one, and I'm not sure what the British one is. But the American route one's interesting because I have no clue what they're going to add. I'm thinking they might add a Canadian Pacific route, maybe, but I don't know.
Dude,
I'm thinking like the route, like the Adirondack runtime would be nice. It goes along Lake Champlain or whatever the hell. It's decent track to be. There's not too many trains, so it wouldn't be too hard for them to do.
heck,
They already have Am fleets for the Amtrak train. They just have to add Genesis.
yeah, I know. Heck, that would be good because you get to run finally get to run Amtrak on Horseshoe Curve, too, to think about it. If they bring that.
They use P42s on there. The Adirondack usually uses. Well, actually, yeah, you're right. No, they probably use the P42 because sometimes they change the locomotive in Albany and sometimes
Because
so they probably add either the P32 or P42.
Because let's be honest, because up from Train Sim World 2, you can actually run on Train Sim World 3 route and vice versa. Have you noticed?
The only route that never got transferred over was the old Northeast Corridor route.
I know, and that kind of sucked. You know?
It sucks, but I mean, it wasn't a great. It had really good scenery, but other from that, it was not great. There's only one section that you can get up to 100 miles an hour.
I know, but it did have a lot of operational stuff with the freight too. Because let's be honest,
and the Sunnyside Yard switching, I got that DLC too. So now I'm down like $50 because I don't have those DLCs.
Because let's be honest, like I'll be honest, the switching part of Train Sim World is neglected. Like there's a whole community out there, and
well,
they
depends on route.
Some
routes switching is terrible. Like Sand Patch, I hate switching on there. But like, I think it was
the Oakville sub.
Oakville sub was good for switching, and that one UP route that I hated. It's not Sherman Hill, it's the other one. I hate that route. But
King Creek.
And, like loading up stuff is fun.
You're talking about King Creek.
Yeah, King Creek. Like driving the whole route sucks, but if I'm just doing yard work on that route, it's pretty nice.
Jane, Jane, now that you know that they got a new train on the route and now the Mountaineer, a tourist train.
Which one? King Creek?
Yeah. Not in Train Sim World. I'm talking about in real world.
Yeah.
You know the Rocky Mountaineer train service?
Yeah.
They now got a route that goes from Colorado all the way up to where King Creek is.
Cool.
So, and hey, Ted, if they're doing King Creek, they should have done the whole route like that it would connect it to.
Well, wouldn't that take like several hours to finish though?
True, but you know, you can actually set it up in a way. Heck, you would have been able to add the Utah Railway. You know, that would have been cool, having a regional with unique diesel locomotive. I'm talking about unique diesel locomotive that you don't see anywhere else.
Well, that's probably why they wouldn't want to do it, because they love just reskinning locomotives and putting them elsewhere. Look, if I had to guess, if they were going to do another electric like American route, they'd probably do SEPTA, because they could just reskin the HCS 64, and then they could just add Comets and use those on Metro North also.
I know. You know what? Speaking of that, what route into Carolina do you think would do good for a Train Sim World route?
I honestly don't think any lines of Carolina would do very well.
There are a couple. Like, we have the Lancaster and Chester regional railroad.
Yeah, but I just, like, from, like, them standpoint, they want the big railroad. Only Amtrak goes through there.
Well,
and all the routes are very drawn out. They don't have any, like, a lot of stops in a short distance.
Well, the Lancaster and Chester is very unique with what it is.
Yeah, but again, I think that they just try to stay away from unique stuff in general. Like, nothing, again, that they can't reskin or whatever the hell to put it on another route. Like, again, like, there was no new locomotives on Cajon Pez.
Dude,
they reskin the NS engine and they just add the SD40 like every other American route.
Yeah, like, if they're going to do that, like, add the freaking 4-axle power, too, because I'll be honest.
I'm surprised they didn't have, like, a GP, what do they got, 50s? No, they don't. Even like a 40 or something, that'd be nice.
I know, and that's the problem. Like,
I want to see SD70Ms or 60Ms or something like that. That would be a cool locomotive.
And you know, they got though on the not Carolina, but the Lancaster or Chester Railroad I'm talking about, and also there are famous railroad here in South Carolina called the Pickens Railroad that uses U-boats.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of them?
Well, they could use U-boats for either short lines or old Conrail routes.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The point is that there are so many stuff that they could do with short line that they're really shooting themselves in the foot for not doing short line routes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, literally, in my point, the two railroads here in South Carolina, like the Lancaster and Chester and the Pickens, are two phenomenal routes that they could do. The Pickens, they have track speed in some areas around 50 mile per hour. In some areas, it gets down to about 35, but nothing below 35, you know?
Yeah.
But mostly it's 50 mile per hour and higher in some areas. But they do got a lot of local customer, and they got two interchanges. One with Norfolk Southern, and another one is with the Greenfield and Western, and also CSX. That's have shared traffic rights on one line. And the thing is with that, is that if they want to do a interesting thing, they could do the not Lancaster, but the Greenfield and Western and the Pickens in a one whole DLC, and also have CSX. That means and probably a little bit of Norfolk Southern, but that means they'll have 4 railroads in one pack for a route. Do you know how crazy that would be?
Mm-hmm.
That would be a jackpot right there, because you got a lot of interesting operations. You got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah.
And then, you know, them just thinking about, they're really shooting themselves in the foot when they don't even think about that, because the not Lancaster and Chester, the Pickens, they have U-boat. They actually got our locomotive too. They interchange with Norfolk Southern at one end, and then the other end they interchange with CSX and the Greenville and Western would have traffic lights on one area, and you can actually build that like the whole area about 60 miles, 60 to 70 miles long. Which is not long at all because, heck, I know the long route of Train Sim World is about 100 miles if I'm right.
Yeah, I drove the whole German route in ICE3 this morning.
Mm-hmm. And I know that route is pretty long.
Yeah, but it goes. Well, I drove the whole thing on a freight train once. It took me like 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Now,
I think it's the longest service in the game, if I'm not wrong.
Probably is, but also with the Lancaster, dang it, I'm thinking about the Lancaster right now, but
I think they just want to keep routes at a maximum hour and a half. Because, like, the freight train's 2 hours, but if you're driving, like, an ICE1 or an ICE3, it only takes, like, an hour.
Like, let's be honest, like, add more freight routes, you know? Like,
well, they have a problem. They love adding European passenger routes, which have some freight on them, but they're not, like, freight specific. And then they love adding American freight, no passengers.
I know, and a lot of the American railroading community who love Train Sim World are out getting ticket tired of it.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend today, and he said, why can't they do a route that have freight and passenger? They did the Pittsburgh line, and it would meant an Amtrak, you know? And also...
Yeah, they have what routes are... They have Metro North, Long Island, Boston. Those are all passenger routes without freight.
And Jane is...
I can't think of another U.S. passenger route. Is that it?
And here...
I know Caltrain has both.
Caltrain have both. Here, Jane, the Long Island one do have freight on it, but...
Oh, no.
Oh, yet... Not in Train Sim World, I'm talking about in real life.
Oh, no, I know that. So does Boston, because you can see the freight lines along it, and Harlem line. There's local tracks.
I know, and there have been people who've been fixing that by, with the locomotives from our DLCs, which I agree with, If it takes people to fix what Dovetail can't do, like, for God's sake, Dovetail, get your act together. Am I right? Like, come on. The community, what realism? Like, if you're going to do realism in the community, my point is you need to add their freight services too. It can't be one or the other,
Yeah.
And that's the thing that get a lot of people upset because it's something that a lot of people do think about.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. I saw this post on Instagram. I guess the Lakeshore broke down in Waterloo, Indiana.
Oh, so did breaking news.
They were getting pulled by an NSSD-70.
Well,
and then it broke down because its access wasn't working. So then they sent 2 P-32s from Buffalo to go rescue it. There's just 5 engines on the front of the Lakeshore, and there's an NS in the middle of 4 Amtrak engines.
Well, that breaking news right there. Am I right?
Yeah.
Breaking news, everyone live. But the thing is that Dovetail need to get their act together and, use common sense because they're really shooting themselves in the foot because, one, a lot of freight lovers get screwed out when it comes to Long Island route because I know the Long Island route get about 10 freight trains per day. Am I right?
Yeah, and then they have that barge thing. They send freight cars across to Jersey over on a boat, and then NS takes it from there.
I know, and that's the thing. Like, heck, that would be an interesting operating to work on. Like, am I right?
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. There are a ton of cool stuff. Heck, there a railroad in New Jersey that is at a dock that you can actually model at a freaking switching layout. Fully freaking switching layout. You know, the whole chain with no modifications.
Mm.
It on the New Jersey side.
I wish they'd add the Jersey section of the Northeast Corridor, because then they could do Jersey Transit. They could have Amtrak. I know they probably won't do it, but I would love that section. That's my favorite section of the corridor.
Heck, they did it back in Train Simulator Classic.
Yeah, I played the TS Classic, and then the interesting with that is they just merged all of the Northeast Corridor, so the entire route was the entire Northeast Corridor, and I thought that was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. And
Or
that,
at least like half better something.
heck, I know back in the old day when the original Amtrak route came out, I know there were a ton of inaccurate stuff with it.
Yeah, but that was a while ago. Nowadays, they can do anything.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'll be honest, they're getting better. You know, there's another route that I think should be good in Train Sim World 3 that came from Train Sim World not Train Sim World Classic, but Train Simulator Classic, and, you know, that Mariah's Path.
That was one of the original ones, and I'm surprised they also didn't do the Surfliner, because that was one of the first routes I ever played.
I know.
Not for that reason. I'm pretty sure it was one of the older routes that came out TS Classic.
And here, Jane, the Mariah Path one, I think that would be pretty good, but also they needed to branch too. You know, the branch line that's split off from Mariah Path that go down that one line?
Yeah.
They need to do that too because it'll make it more operational, you know?
Uh-huh.
And it will add variety. Also, you got Amtrak on the route. And the thing that I'll be on it with, that would be pretty good to add and, you know, work with stuff. Because you'll actually have a lot of operational stuff. Heck, if you remember the original Mariah Path route from Train Simulator, that thing actually had the branch with it. Am I right?
I think so, yeah.
And let's be honest, I'm not trying to be an asshole here. If Dubcell tried to do Mariah Path, they're probably going to cut the branch line out.
Yeah, because they probably just want to keep it to the main line unless AI trains to deal with whatever the hell less scheduling.
Oh, just imagine how many people will be pissed at that. Oh my God. Like, I done had one dude said if they cut the branch line out of Mariah Path, if they ever do it, he said you could bet your ass I'll be at the Dubcell doorstep with a pitchfork in my hand. Literally. Like, they want the full route, even the branch, because let's be honest, if the track dead stop at the end and, you know, from an interchange point, you're going to have a bad route. Trust me. You want to do the route, and then, like, toward the end of it, you want to have it split where all the line connected are around the nation. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
And thing is, they did cut out that one little railroad on the Peninsula Corridor, which I thought was kind of dumb. You know the one that you outcoast right there in the San Francisco Bay?
I was there not too long ago. I didn't see that.
All right, it called the San Francisco Bay Railroad.
Never heard of it.
In-Play Production did a video about it on his YouTube channel. But the line is right there near the baseball stadium. And the thing is that it uses an Alco and another locomotive. The Alco is freaking modified to take vegetable oil. You know? That crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
And the thing is that I would not mind if they did, you know, because it only about another 5 miles of tracks, and it ends at a shipping port, you know.
Well, I think before they did that, they should add all the Catman and the Stadlers.
I know. I hate to say it, they're probably going to have 2, you know, Peninsula Corridor route updates, you know?
Uh-huh.
My thing is that I'll be honest, if they did the whole and the branch lines that came off of it, that'll make the Peninsula Corridor even more valuable in Train Sim World, you know? Because not everybody want to do a main line route, you know?
Well, I think that's what everyone wants, though.
Not everyone. I actually follow a group of over 2,000 member into one group, and all they want is some branch line, maybe some short line railroads. And they admitted that they're sick and tired of always getting mainline stuff.
Yeah.
Because they done told me that they felt like, you know, Dovetail let them down. You know?
Yeah.
And not trying to be an asshole, but, you know, everybody saying Dovetail is being cheapskate and, you know, doing, you know, route that are not that detailed and, you know, not that interesting, you know?
Yeah, I think they should try a little bit harder with the scenery.
Yeah. Heck, I remember when Train Sim World 2 and Train Sim World 1 were around, they did a lot of detail. You remember that?
Uh-huh. Yeah, again, the old Northeast Corridor route was very detailed.
And then now with the newer ones, it don't look that detailed.
Well, the three very new ones look a lot better, but Train Sim World 2 was a huge gap based on trying to turn the roads.
Mm-hmm. Heck, well, you know, I was thinking about it, and I talked to a friend, and, you know, I would not mind to see a modern rendition of the Crimsfield, but in CXX, you know? Like, heck, I would not mind it, you know, like with a few modifications of what happened in the last 50 years and all that. Like, have a modern variant of the Crimsfield. Not with the Crimsfield, but, you know, how CXX operates it.
Yeah.
That would be, you know, pretty cool. Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh, and there are another route that they could do that it interesting, but it have a switchback on it main line. And it in West Virginia. And it owned by CXX. CXX got the one line that actually have a switchback. And that would be cool for Train Sim World. But yeah. So, how many American routes do you think will come to Train Sim World 3 before Train Sim World 4 come out?
I'd say at least 2, at most 4.
Yeah, because that's how it went with Train Sim World 1 and Train Sim World 2. Am I right?
Yeah.
Because if you remember, we had 4 routes in the original, then 4 out. We had more American routes in the second one. Am I right?
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see, you know? But yeah. But what American route that is not a main line, but it's pretty good for operation and switching would you love to come to Train Sim World?
There's some railroad in Central Jersey. They have a lot of like industries that they literally just park car. Like for example, if you like wanted to get a shipment at Walmart, you pull like a truck in.
Mm-hmm.
They just have like straight up box cars just parking next to the building and unload those. I forgot what the railroad's called. I'll look it up.
Are you talking about the S&S Railroad?
Maybe.
Because they use Baldwin locomotives.
Yeah. Diesels, right?
Yeah, Baldwin S12s.
Yeah, and I want to see the Minnesota commercial. I like that one too.
Yeah, now here team with the S&S one in New Jersey. That one is not too big.
No, I know, which is why it's perfect for Train Sim World. Like they say, oh, it's not too big. They can put more detail into it because it's a smaller route, and they just have they had the Baldwins. Maybe we have what other locomotives they got?
They got some Alco. They haven't got a steam engine that they do in freight service too.
They They probably wouldn't want to do that because if they're making a steam route, they want to make it just dedicated to steam.
Well, did railroad unique
the-
because it's a tourist railroad too.
What?
It also a tourist railroad too now.
Yeah, but they'd probably just want to stick with the freight operations. I have that British steam route, but I've never played it.
Hmm.
And yeah, Minnesota commercial would be pretty neat. Just had some U-boats in there, which is primarily what they operate. It shouldn't be too hard. You just have to have that one engine. They have, I think, like a Jeep or two, and they have an Alco.
Yeah.
But they mostly have U-boats.
But, S&S Railroad got freaking 5 properties, a couple in New York State, too,
Yeah, which ones?
I can't remember the one,
Sorry.
I can't remember what area in New York it is in, but it's pretty unique, too. And ironically, one route actually is in Run 8. You know what Run 8 is?
I've heard of it. I never played it.
A part of the S&S, or technically a full part of the S&S Railroad in New York, is part of the line in Run 8,
It's cool.
But it used to be an old Conrail route back in the day.
Is it Susquehanna? No, it's not Shoreline.
But it right there when you're going from New York all the way up to the capital.
Albany?
Yeah.
Oh, the Riverline, which isn't really one. I'm trying to think. Jersey to Albany, right?
No. The line is a short line railroad, but it also interchanges with another line that is more inland. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Give me a second. I'll tell you like right now. I've seen their locomotives. They have Jeeps, right?
Yeah, they got Jeep and U-boats on that one.
Do they have like a really old Jeep?
Yes.
I literally saw it. Give me a second. I'll think of it. I think I saw them in Campbell Hall.
Yeah, because the area that they have is part of a very big industrial park.
Yes, I went to Campbell Hall. Give me a second. I'll tell you it. It interchanges NS there.
Yes. That one that I was trying to remember.
It's like Central Jersey something.
Mm-hmm.
I have pictures of their locomotives on my camera. Actually, wait, yeah, my camera's right over here. Hold on.
But I'll be on it. The S&S own about 4 to 5 lines. 2 lines in New Jersey, 3 in New York.
I've literally seen this railroad before. I can't believe it. I never go short line spot. The only short lines I've been to was that, the Minnesota commercial, and Morristown and Erie. Oh, it's gonna be kind of far back. I have 6,000 photos on my camera.
Dude, I did realize another route that they could do in Train Sim World 3. It's the one in Steamtown, Pennsylvania.
Is that where the locomotive crashed? Oh, wait, I went to another short line too. It was the North Philadelphia something.
It's the Delaware and Hudson Railroad. The Delaware and Hudson Railroad in Pennsylvania. And
I was just saying I saw this old Conrail C39 at this railroad in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
It was Landale or something. And they had an XCSX standard cab SD16 next to it.
Oh, wow. That's
I
crazy.
gave her good pictures though because they were in a bad spot.
But I'll be honest, there are a lot of railroad. Heck, there are railroad in New York State called the Oil City Railroad, and that make this railroad interesting and outreach to freight and tourism at the same time. You literally have a tour train coupled up to a freaking freight train.
Cool.
So, if I would dovetail that something that I would do, did only a 25, maybe 40 mile long route, but it goes through some very beautiful scenery along the Oil River. And thing is, it's toward the end of the line, you got a lot of industrial customers. You got pickup, and at the interchange point at the beginning of the line, you interchange it with the New York State and Southern Pennsylvania Railroad. You know,
Yeah.
the one.
These photos weren't on this SD card, the ones that I'm thinking of, because I'm like way too far back now.
Oof.
Alright, yeah, I just went back to the beginning.
Mm.
Now, I can't think of it. Hold up.
Oof.
Is there like a street view here?
Oof. You still having a hard time, man?
Yeah, no, it was in Campbell Hester. I'm having a very hard time.
Dude, what type of camera do you have?
Canon G7, I think.
Dude, you know
Yeah.
the camera I can actually transfer the photos from that camera to my tablet wirely with no, taking an SD card out and putting it in something.
Yeah, if you're wired. Yeah, the railroad's the Middletown and New Jersey Railroad.
Yes.
They have a U-boat. I didn't see the U-boat. Did I see the U-boat? I did not see the U-boat while I was there. They have like an old like GP. Yeah, they have a high like GP9 or something. I saw.
Mm.
Or is it GP18? Something like that.
Dude, what short line railroad company that buy up a lot of short line railroad company do you hate?
What?
What railroad?
One that I hate? I don't hate any of them. Probably Genesee and Wyoming because they just buy everything and everything.
Oh my God, yeah, Jenny Chan, I love Wyoming. Fuck them bastards.
I don't know what I did. I just know everyone hates them, so I'm kind of bandwagoning.
Dude, do you want to know why everyone hates them? They literally destroy short lines' identities.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
I'm not even joking. They're corporate freaking paint. Like, stop fucking painting everything in red, orange, and black.
There's a railroad in like England or something, and they have the same paint scheme, but they're not Genesee, Wyoming.
Yes, they are. Genesee and Wyoming we own a railroad in the United Kingdom. They own a.
God,
That's
actually funny. I thought it was just a random engine that was.
No. They actually own a railroad in the United Kingdom, Europe, Africa, freaking Asia, and Australia. I'm not even joking.
Everyone and their mom owns a railroad in Africa. That's not saying much.
I know. But Genesee and Wyoming operate some railroads in Australia and New Zealand too.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah. I thought that I was like, wait, the UK locomotives looks like stupid. It's like painted like Genesee and Wyoming. I can't believe they actually did that. No, I guess they were trying to buy like Minnesota Commercial or something, and they don't want them to buy them. So like they're trying to find anyone else to buy them or something like that.
Yeah, the thing is that Genesee and Wyoming are a bunch of assholes. Because have you ever heard of the Georgia Central Railroad?
Yes.
It was a regional that used high hood U-boats.
Well, from crew standpoint, everyone hates high hoods, but filmers love them.
And the moment that the crews were fine down there because they operated them for over 50 years.
Well, yeah, but the railroad's like, all right, well, you're driving these, and they're like, okay, but like if they had the option, like drive, I was talking to an NS guy. He's like, I eat those things with a passion. There was a high like GP40 there or something.
Sorry, David.
Well, the thing that happened is that back in 2016, when Genesee and Wyoming bought out the freaking Georgia Central Railroad, they said fuck it, and they just tried to get rid of many high hoods that they can. There are still maybe a couple of high hoods around on the railroad, but they're not that much anymore. But there are still a little bit,
Yeah.
Like, there may be only about 10 on the Georgia Central left, but they literally got rid and scrapped half of them. And thing is that the Georgia Central, a lot of rail fan just said, nah, I'm done with the railroad because they got rid of the Georgia Central paint scheme. They got rid of their high hood. The railroad is not even unique anymore.
Well, I guess from Genesee Avenue standpoint, they don't want the railroads to be unique. They just want to use all the same engines and stuff to keep maintenance easy and keep everything smoothly, paint schemes and stuff. So I can see it from that standpoint.
I know, but it destroyed the railroad legacy. Heck, if you just think about it, a lot of rail fans hate their paint scheme, you know?
Yeah.
And then, I'll be honest about Genesee, Wyoming. They do some preservation, but they don't do as much. Like, Jesus, if you're going to put your paint scheme in, for the love of God, and I mean for the love of God, preserve something to let them know. Am I right?
Yeah.
But Genesee and Wyoming said, nah, heck, Genesee and Wyoming owned the freaking Utah Railroad, the one that we were talking about in Train Simulator. That would be great for Train Simulator 3. They freaking own the line now, you know? Oh, God, the fucking dickbags are back online.
What happened?
You look at my live stream. The guys are freaking, the douchebags are back.
Who? Is it on a server?
No, our YouTuber that I actually know in my area. Like, yeah, we got a lot of rail fans down here where I live in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Heck, we got a couple of freaking female rail fans too. I'm not even kidding you. We have chicks around here that rail fan. Heck, my wife had wanted them. But let me be honest. Thing is that Genesee and Wyoming really is screwing up. Heck, I let her take R.J. Corman locomotives over them. Like, heck, the R.J. Corman locomotive, even though they do the same thing, their locomotives are more appealing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and they do more preservation than freaking Genesee and Wyoming does. Am I right?
Well, I haven't seen their stuff, so I guess so.
Hey, well, the dude who made R.J. Corman, the dude is a legend. He was a good guy. He died about a decade ago from cancer, which was sad.
Yeah.
But I heard a lot of story about the guy that he was a good guy. I heard a lot of stories about the guy and he was a good guy, you know?
Yeah.
Heck, R.J. Corman owns about 19 short line railroads now. One of them in North Carolina, and technically another one here in South and North Carolina. So they technically own 2 railroads in the Carolinas. They own a line down in Georgia, Texas. They have a whole bunch in Pennsylvania, 2 in Ohio. Like,
so many railroads in Pennsylvania.
Oh, and here, Gene, R.J. Corman you have a QJ class steam engine. You know, not Japanese, but Chinese built steam engine. They have 2 of them.
Cool.
They literally used to run the suckers. Oh my God, I would have loved to caught them on video.
Yeah.
Heck, even though China, I don't agree with China, but they do got them damn cool steam locomotives, you know?
Yeah. I like how they for their first decade high speed rail service they just bought European stuff.
I know. That was kind of funny how they started buying for 10 years, which started in the not late 2000, the early 2000s. They started buying European stuff, but then around the late 2010 onwards, they started building their own stuff, you know?
That's when they really started copying everything.
Yeah, and I know, and thing is that China had, freaking Oh yeah, and forgot about the Iowa Interchange had a Chinese QJ class too. You know them? Heck, they just got done running that same year. Have you seen the videos of it?
No, I haven't.
Dude, look up Iowa Interstate Railroad Chinese QJ class. Oh my god. If you see the video, they're epic. I'm not even kidding. It's epic.
You know the Swiss RE460 locomotive?
Yes.
Hong Kong has some of those, which I thought was interesting.
I know. You know, here's something else that most people don't know about. And it's something here's something that most people don't know about. There are a lot of American locomotives in Europe and in China and in Australia, South America, and the Middle East, Africa too, you know? Most people forget that we built a lot of locomotives for our countries, am I right?
Yeah.
And then you have the odd thing, like we did buy the locomotive from our country to ourselves, like with the Chinese QJs, we did that. But I'll be honest, that was crazy that we bought some locomotive from the United Kingdom back in the day, you know?
Which ones?
I can't crap. I can't remember.
Very long time ago?
Yes. But I know there were some American type, not American type, but British type of locomotive that we did tours with. Heck, they even had the Flying Scotsman here in the U at one time, you know?
Yeah, I heard of that story.
Yeah, we all know what almost happened. Nearly got screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that explosive that a British engine that was so painful almost died in the U.S.
Yeah.
Hey. But it was crazy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy when you just think about stuff and most people don't realize it. Japan Motor Central is the best. Oh no, not Penn Central. Oh god, they're starting to talk about the Penn Central meme. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah.
They are starting to talk about the Penn Central meme with, good god, an annoying meme, you know? I'll be honest, I think Brightline fan is sleeping, you know?
Yeah, probably sleeping in school, so.
Yeah, dude. And I'm not trying to sound crazy, but our school system is a straight up failure when you did think about it, you know?
Yeah, I don't particularly like waking up at 6 in the morning.
Dude, try getting up at 5 in the morning to be at school at 7.
Yeah, my school starts at 7:20.
Mine started at 7:02 back when I used to go to high school. And that's the thing. And the thing is that, let's be honest, we really screwed up our school system. And then we wanted for everybody to, you know, to learn the damn same thing, you know? And do it in the same way. And that's the problem. We're teaching our people to, you know, be like mindless machines, you know? Am I right? And the thing is that we don't teach them life skills, you know? Like, we don't teach them how to pay bills. We don't teach them how to cook. Stuff that they need to be teaching and all the other stuff, you know?
You there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Sorry, my mic just like stupid.
But our country is going so backwards right now, you know?
Yeah.
And then is that most schools are, just BS,
Mm-hmm.
Look like I got a freaking spammer in the chat.
I'm looking at the roadmap for the new TSW route.
Someone got
I
it.
like the new single deck cars.
I know, and I think that cool,
I'm probably gonna mainly be using the BR-182 because that's my favorite locomotive for the German Reds, and the IC one.
Heck,
I'm probably not gonna like the BR-110. I don't like operating older German locomotives because I don't know what I'm doing.
I know.
Because I like the BR-155, but like it's a pain in the ass to operate.
Dude, you did see the new route for Train Classic. The locomotive and that all hydraulic control.
Right, is it? I wish they were as adventurous and trained somewhere as they were in TS Classic, but I guess TS Classic the routes are easier to make.
It is because it have lower
The standard is for graphics and stuff.
Yes. But it's kind of sad because Train Sim World really followed off the earth with what it have done.
Yeah.
But
only
you can say what you're going to say.
I was gonna say mostly the only things I don't have in Train Sim World are mostly British stuff, like older British stuff. I don't have anything. I had the Trans Penne on the original Train Sim World, but then I didn't come over to Train Sim World 2, which is weird.
I know.
Then I got London Commuter for free for some reason.
That's funny.
Like I was gonna get a new route one day, and I was like, all right, well I don't like any of the other British routes, so I'll get this one. And so I already owned it, and I was like, what? So I hit install and it started flaying, and I already had it.
I know, and that's crazy. But here's something else. Like, there are a lot of American routes. There are even more American routes in Train Simulator Classic than there is in, Train Sim World,
Yeah.
Heck, and then to bring it up, Trains with a Z.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Jesus Christ, there are so many American routes in there. It technically kicks, freaking Dub Cell behind. Am I right?
Yeah.
Heck, the one route that I want to get in Train with a Z that I was always curious on was, the Redden and Northern route,
Yeah.
Because
I had the mobile version of it. I never had the computer version.
Oh.
The only computer game I had was TS Classic.
Dude,
and
well,
I got the original Train Sim World when it came out on Xbox. So it was like the second day I got it.
Dude, well, if you have either Train with the Z 2012 onward, if you have any of them, you can download the Redden and Northern route. It's from Jointed Rail, and good God, that route is amazing. I had a friend who used to run, and he said did one route that needed to be done in, Train Sim World Classic or Train Sim World 2 when it was out, He said that if they don't do that one, then it's going to be a shame, Because the Redden and Northern is a regional railroad in Pennsylvania, And that's insane. Like, they really miss out on that, Like, it's something that I'll be honest on it. Like, if Train Sim World decide to get it act together and do new routes and stop, trying to do stuff like a 5-year-old, we'll probably see a lot more American routes,
Yeah, they're now selling, like the locomotive skin bundle, like from Train Sim World 2.
Yes.
They're selling them as singular things. If I just wanted the SD40, I could just get that for like $4.
I know, and that
Which is still stupid, and I'm not paying for it because it's literally just a paint scheme.
you know they're just trying to do that to make more money off of you. Instead of trying to do that, make more routes, you know?
Yeah.
Heck, it's only a matter of time before someone figure out how to get the software that they use to build train routes, you know?
Mhm.
It's only a matter of time, you know?
Yeah.
Because once someone figure out how to build, routes and found out the stuff that they use for Train Sim World, there are going to be a lot of people building routes and, making sure Dubcell have to run for their money, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And,
oh my god, I haven't played this route since Train Sim Classic. Not Train Sim Classic, like the original Train Sim World.
like, that's something I noticed, and I was talking to a friend of mine about this. Yeah. He said that he guaranteed the moment that someone figure out how to get the software and stuff to build train routes in Train Sim World 3 or 2, he said once they figure that out, it's donezo for, Dubcell, because they're going to have to make a whole new game again, you know?
Yeah.
Because let's not forget, for 10 years of, not for 10 years, for 4 to 5 years of, Train Sim World before it became not Train Sim World, but Train Simulator before it became a classic. If you remember, you would have to, order a route on their website, and then, they decided to, change that up or check with someone found a way around for they could build routes. And a lot changed, am I right?
Yeah.
But yeah. Why would you? But
November 8th. I'm looking at the roadmap because I forgot what they said. New route has been added to the roadmap. New U.S. route has been added to the route map.
oof. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I wonder what that U.S. route is.
Probably gonna be jumping in the Northeast corridor, you know.
No, a route, not a locomotive. Oh, you're saying in the Northeast?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping it's the Lake Champlain thing. So that'd be actually really cool.
The only reason I think it's gonna be a Northeast corridor route is because it's an electric locomotive that they're talking about. Am I right?
No. They already have the Northeast corridor in the game.
Technically, they have the Northeast corridor where it terminates in Chicago, or not Chicago, but I'm talking about Massachusetts. Oh my god, dude! I just had a brain fart and I got mixed up with the two cities. I was meant to say Massachusetts, and instead I said Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
No. They are adding a route, not a locomotive. They're still adding that locomotive. They're adding a new U.S. route, though.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Obviously, the locomotive's probably be Northeast Corridor because it's already in the game. But the new route is what I'm confused about. Again, I really hope it's like Champlain. It's like maybe like Saratoga up to the border of New. No, that'd take too long.
You know, they did do the Vermont Railroad. That would be nice.
They should
do. Hey, you still there, man?
The route can't even Allen goes on.
Oh, can you say that again?
The route that Ethan Allen goes on. I forgot where it's from too. I know it terminates in what is that? Burlington, I think. Yeah, Burlington. Yeah, they could do like Rutland to Burlington. That'd be cool.
I know.
Here, let me check out where that is.
But
it's an hour and 30-minute drive, and I highly doubt it's quicker by train. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 18 minutes by the bus.
Oof.
Hold up, what if it's like 8 a.m.? Oh, 2 hours and 3 minutes. Well, that's not terrible. That's doable.
That is, and then you got freight on the line too, it make it interesting. You know, you got freight and passenger.
Yeah.
And let's not forget that is a very iconic route, you know?
Yeah, because you hang out. The station's right in the middle of Burlington. You go through the suburbs. There's a lot of neat buildings around the tracks. There's great crossings and stuff. Locals everywhere. Follow it down a little bit further. It's mostly single track, which they have not done a single track route besides King Creek. And then I think I don't have Litchfield. Is that double track?
The Cranfield is not double track. It's mostly single track with coal mine and a lot of switching and side-ins, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, most of this route's single track and it goes through like farmland and stuff.
But
or maybe even like Burlington, like Middlebury would be cool. They don't even have to go all the way to Rutland, although Rutland would be neat. Oh, here, I'm trying to see like a big freight. Oh, that's a quarry. That could be a cool local.
Heck, Jane is that if I would love for them to do something up in New England that is not passenger based, like do some short line freight railroads. Like there are a ton of iconic ones up there in New England. Am I right?
Yeah. No, this Rutland one's good. So, or not Rutland. So Burlington, you start in Burlington, almost the entire route 60 miles an hour, which is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure like a big freight yard is. There's one, and I think that Tammet said Middlebury.
Yeah, and then you got one right there. They're up to, I can't remember the upper half, but you do got them good area. Heck, you got a lot of local businesses. You could do mainline freight. You could do a local. You could.
Yeah, there's a roundhouse in Burlington, so that would be neat to have the yard. So yeah, well, yeah, let's say the game starts at the grade crossing south of the yard. Or no, wait, is it the train station? No, the train station's like right next to the yard, right?
Mm-hmm, it is.
No, it's past the yard, right past the yard. So just have the simulation start at the train station, right? Yes. So it's right north of the yard. So just have it start near like a little further than that grade crossing where like that switches. Have it in there. You have it come down there. You have the whole freight yard. There's even an industry there, I think.
Mm-hmm. And then like there are a lot of stuff like literally.
What was there? This would actually be such a good route to do. I never thought of this.
Heck, Gene, is it that it's run by the Vermont Railroad, you know? Which,
yes, you have the Vermont Railroad, you have Amtrak in there.
Heck, that'll be one because that'll be the first modern short lines because it also got a lot of different locomotive type. It got SD70s, GPs, Alcos.
They only want to add like one or two freight locomotives.
Dude,
wait, you're telling me there's a quarry? Oh, yeah, no, they do the loading station thing. So I must say, you don't have a quarry next to the train tracks and not have a loading dock. There's no way.
You know they were talking about doing commuter rail on that line that would not Amtrak then, but would both be done with Bud cars, you know?
That'd be kind of dumb. But yeah, what time is this?
But the route would be good because there.
No, yeah, Middlebury. Yeah, no, literally Middlebury to Burlington would actually be such a route. There's a ton of locals. What is that? 3 Amtrak stations.
Mm-hmm. Heck.
Yeah.
Gene.
Yeah. There's Middlebury, Ferrisburg, and Burlington. There's 3 Amtrak stations. You have 1 Amtrak service each way. And you have 2 freighters each end.
Yeah, and that would be a nice point-to-point. Plus, you got 2 split-off points, too. Which,
yeah, I mean, Rutland would be nice, but 2 hours and 13 minutes is a bit long.
All right, 1
And
minute.
it's 15 minutes from Burlington and Middlebury on Amtrak.
Like, I'll be on it. Like, that would be a nice route right there, you know? Like, literally, got so much to do. Also, their tourist trains on the line, too. They got a fall train.
That would probably be like a good DLC or something. I figure the base route would be Amtrak. You got Amfleets, you got P32s.
You got the Vermont.
I don't think they would do the HHPA cab car because that isn't even in service yet, and that'd be more annoying. Because, well, no, because then even if they did that, they'd have the model for the HHPA on the Boston route, but then they would have to add physics to it or whatever the hell, like different physics. I probably did. Keep the P32s on each end. What locomotives do they have?
What, you're talking about the Virginia Railway?
No, the one up in Burlington.
Well, it's the Virginia Railway up in Burlington.
No, Burlington, Vermont.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I just called the Virginia Railway.
No. It's called the Vermont Railway we go up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the Vermont Railway. Or is it Canadian Pacific?
Canadian Pacific interchange is right there in Vermont.
Okay, so that's the yardage.
Yeah, that interchange yard. Big one. My team is that now that Amtrak is going to go back all the way up to Montreal, that would be perfect in a way, you know?
Oh, yeah. Vermont rail system. Yeah, they got SD7. Oh, they could literally just reskin the Union Pacific SD70s.
Uh-huh, and
they're not M2s.
They also got some TP locomotives. They also got a couple Alcos.
Yeah, no, literally they could just reskin the SD70s and reskin the Jeeps and just put them in the Vermont rail livery and you're good.
And then for extra locomotive that they can add an Alco, you know?
Yeah, they could add the Alco and the tourist train, like a DLC.
Yeah, and that thing, like, did it a perfect route right here. Like, if Train Sim World 1 is slam dunk, it would be a route right here, the magnum opus. Am I right?
Yeah.
Because it'll be interesting. Plus, you got so much freight on it. You got freaking lumber, a lot of other stuff, even farm wheat, fuel. So much.
Yeah, no, I can't believe I didn't think of that in the past. It's actually such a good route.
Because, literally, heck, now that you said it, I might talk about this route in, the Facebook group, Jane, about it, you know?
I can't do that. I don't have Facebook, so I wouldn't know.
Well, they're a Train Sim World group on Facebook, but that would be
they actually have influence and Dovetail. Like, are they like a little like part? And they're like, "Yo, make this route." And they listen. Or are they just like discussing? There's like people from Dovetail in there.
They do have some people that are Dovetail, but they have not changed their mind on some of them.
All right.
Oh, speaking that,
definitely tell them about this one. What we came up with, obviously the Amtrak, the SD70 reskin, the Jeep reskin. Obviously, you have all that freight industry and stuff.
Heck, like the route would be good. Like a route that they don't even think about.
Yeah, no, that would be like a pretty good route. Again, at 60 miles an hour, running pretty much the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
And dude, here, Jane, the thing that might make it even more crazier that they're going to be getting more Amtrak trains on that route.
Yeah, you get the P32s. They could reskin the P32s for Metro North and Comets for Metro North and MBTA.
I know, and here, and thing that I'm trying to take that this route is probably going to get about 4 more train added to it because Amtrak could talk about doing more service up there in Vermont.
Well, they're gonna have the HHPA cab cars, but then eventually they're gonna have those stupid ALC 42 trains or whatever the hell with the battery car.
Dude, I don't know what to think about that.
Oh, that is such a good route. Definitely tell it to that Facebook group. Maybe they'll actually do it. That'd be actually awesome.
Heck, that they have some beautiful buildings up there, and heck, if they're going to do the route, they don't need to put that many buildings except for in a porting area and then moat with trees.
in the three towns Amtrak stops at. Besides that, it's mostly woodlands and farms.
Mm-hmm. Heck, it would be a good route, you know? Most people don't think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, no, because most routes that are either A, too long, or B, they just have way too much different like equipment, or like the railroads don't want to give them licensing or something like that.
Heck, if I would them get the Vermont license, like, you know, to do the Vermont, like, that would be perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if I'm right, if they don't have the Vermont license, it's gonna be hard.
Well, they have Amtrak, which I don't think that would be too hard. But yeah, the Vermont might be tough because I don't even know. Have they made that in a training simulator before?
Back in Classic, they did one time, and that was back almost 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah, so that, I mean, that would either be difficult to get it from them, or that'd be really easy. Maybe they want, hey, you know, make our train route, make us popular.
Heck, they probably will make it popular because they're very friendly. Heck, they're up there in Train Magazine, you know?
Yeah.
So, heck, they would probably take the popularity also with their fall train, you know?
Mhm.
There is another railroad, and it in Arkansas and Missouri, called the Arkansas and Missouri Railroad. You heard about them?
No.
Dude, look them up. It'll blow your mind. They're a regional that you freaking FD70s and Alcos. Like, look, and they're very unique in a way. They also got an interchange with BNSF and Union Pacific. But it's a pretty neat railroad, you know?
Yeah.
But they got an underground section in a, you know, underground thing where they freeze and put cold food at. That is fully underground switching and operated, you know?
Mhm.
Crazy, ain't that? Like, it's something that most people don't even think about. Who would 11? But yeah, crazy, ain't it? Hey, speaking of that, I need to ask, were you playing Roadblocks earlier?
What?
Was you playing Roadblocks earlier?
Like, I think I was playing with my cousin or something. Yeah. I'm on Train Sim World. I just hit level 250.
Dude, I'm just going to bring it up about Train Sim World. Or not Train Sim World, but Roadblock. There's so much shit you can do in that game, you know?
Yeah, I just mostly play for the shits and giggles. I'll play some dumb game.
Heck, you got, you know, Counterforce with, or not Counterforce, Fandom Force with a damn good game.
Well, it's just off-brand Call of Duty.
I know, it all-brand Call of Duty and Call of Duty and Battlefield, you know? It's Battlefield and Call of Duty put together when you think about it. And then you got freaking, you know, them role-playing games, you know, which are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, the role-playing in some of them is bonkers.
Okay.
Then you got the freaking, you know, scary games. And literally, the place that I work at, Walmart, we did a freaking sponsorship in Roadblocks. Like, what the hell? Am I right?
Yeah.
That's something I have never even thought about until we seen the ads for it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy, you know what I mean? But, yeah. But the crazy stuff to think about right there. But I need to ask, do you have school tomorrow, bud?
Yeah, I should probably go to bed soon.
Yeah, I'm probably going to let you go to bed. It already about to be 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired too. I'm almost done my school assignment.
All right. Well, I will talk to you later, bud. All right. Later.
Good talk. See you.
See. All right. But yeah, but we did thought of some good ideals. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, that line up there in Vermont, that would be good. Good God. Didn't now thought about that. Heck. It's crazy just to think about that. But yeah, but let me. Oh, and by the way, the person who talking for vanity and all that, if you don't quit, I will freaking put you in timeout. All right, Noah, you asked for it, man. So sorry, you're going into timeout. What happened when you go into timeout? But yeah, let's get to a little bit before I end the live stream. Oh, and I hope everybody enjoyed the 2 World Phantom videos. Took me a bit. Oh, it sucked that what happened to him. Hopefully he get repaired and he back out on the rails. Mm. 1 minute. Ooh. I did that and it felt like I wanted to walk up. But check that out. Heck up. That cool. Look at that right there. It's cool thinking about railroad stuff, you know? And me and him will talk about the Long Island Railroad too. Those are both to come into service next year. With that, I'm looking forward to. And also, not California, but Brightline is going to be opening up probably this month or at the beginning of next month. So let the shitstorm begin. You guys know I'm out going through fast because, you know, got to get ready for bed. Got some cool steam engine and locomotives. But yeah. Oh, hey, Valley Poo. Well, you taking a shower? Yeah. Alright. Alright. But check this out. That cool because they're now nearly complete with that. Like, literally, they're building a trolley museum in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Trolley Museum. Pretty cool when you did think about it. Oof. That's something to look forward to. I'm not gonna lie. On the Reddit and Noodle. Right here. And yeah. But it's pretty cool when you did think about it. There's some more stuff. Got one at the Heritage units right there. The Lehigh Valley. But yeah. And I know I should not be, but I am being quick. Nobody give a shit. Whatever, man. That may be what you think, but our people do. Not you, but everybody else do. Alright. I did map one of their areas out that would be good at a model train layout. Which I have Zodiac. It would be good at a switching layout. But yeah. But this should out pretty cool. The only problem at the end of their line, it total in Pennsylvania, it total dog crap because of how it designed, which I don't agree with. The reason why I hate freaking track mobiles. Let's be honest, I hate track mobiles. What did all do locomotives? But yeah. It's crazy when you just think about it.
Excuse me.
Also, for anybody that don't know, there's going to be a model train show on January 7th at the Citadel Mall. So I'm planning to go to that. I caught it looking at it a couple of times. Still school. You know what, man? Dip being a dick, you're going into timeout. Put you in timeout. I hope you like that. Learn the hard way. But yeah. Got some of the Canadians up right here. I do think the Canadian stuff is cool too. Like, I am thinking about mapping more Canadian routes out with. They're just like North American routes with it cool. I'm not going to lie. And most people just don't think about that. Here, what I'm talking about right here with some Outco earlier. But yeah, one cool route. Here's some more Outco right here. I actually followed their group on freaking Facebook. RIP to Pan Am. So yeah, that kind of sucks now that they're CXX. But yeah. And then we're on the back page. But yeah. Great magazine. Also, you know, that a good one, even though it came out January of last year, and over a year old. Still a good magazine. Not up to date, but you know, still good. Now, it's been a crazy year for railroading. Some stuff I don't agree with, and some I do. Some stuff I just feel sad about. That we need to make a difference on, but yeah. But it is crazy, and hopefully it do get better. But one thing I want to bring up real quick before I end the live stream, I do not think, not Manifest, but Unitrain. I don't agree with Unitrain. They're terrible. They're unreliable, and I don't think they're going to work. Please stop with the Unitrain and bring back Manifests. Heck, something I think that would be good. But yeah. But with it getting closer to me getting ready to go to bed, got work at 12:30 tomorrow, so I want to get a couple nights Z. But yeah, but I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream. Treat like and subscribe. Oh, exactly, not it yet. I almost forgot one thing. One thing I almost forgot. That's stupid. Thing that I'll say is that I'm done. Let me put him in timeout. There we go. be a jerk, get put in timeout. But yeah, but something I'm going to say real quick. Even though that they stopped the railroad strike from happening again, they only postpone it until down the line. I mean, it's still going to happen, but at a different time. But yeah, that's all I just wanted to get out with. Now, I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, guys, and have a great night, and everybody sleep tight.